All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about one of the most important moments for any business out there, the first impression. But I'm not talking about when someone walks through your physical door. Nope. We're talking about the first impression that happens right here, on a screen. You've heard this a million times, right? It's a classic for a reason because it is absolutely true. And you know what? In our digital world, that first impression happens in the blink of an eye, and the stakes have never been higher. It's that one little moment that decides if you get a new customer or if they scroll right past you to your competitor. So I want you to really think about this. For your business, right now, what is that first impression? Is it just your name in a long list? A couple of pictures you took a year ago? A little pin on a map? Because whatever it is, that's where your customer's journey starts. And you've got maybe 3 seconds to grab them. Let's talk about this idea of the digital front door. Try to think of your Google listing not just as, listing. Think of it as the actual front door to your business. It's where potential customers are standing, they're peeking through the window, and they're trying to decide, do I want to go in? And almost all the time, they're doing this from their phone. And get this number. This is wild. A full 89% of all local business searches are happening on a mobile device. Think about that. Your big grand entrance, your crucial first impression, is happening on a tiny screen that fits in the palm of someone's hand. That's where the decision starts and often ends. So a customer's journey can go one of two ways. On one side, you've got static photos. And with those, the user is just guessing. They're wondering, is it actually nice inside? Is there parking? Is the vibe what I'm looking for? All that uncertainty, that's a huge barrier. But then, on the other side, you've got a virtual tour. And suddenly, there are no questions. The user is in control, they're exploring, they're engaging, and they're building confidence in you with every single swipe. And that's exactly where we pivot from the problem to the solution. We've got to move beyond just flat, kind of boring photos. The tool for making a killer first impression today isn't just a slightly better camera. It's a totally different way of letting people see your space. It's all about creating an immersive experience with something like Google's 360 Street View. There's a quote from some of the material we looked at that just nails it. It says, "Today's 360 photography makes traditional photos look like cave paintings." And isn't that the truth? The jump from a still photo to a 360-degree tour is just massive. It's the difference between looking at a picture of the Grand Canyon and actually standing on the edge, able to look all around you. And of course, the data completely backs this up. It's not even close. Listings that make that jump from static photos to a virtual tour see this huge spike in how much users engage with them. People don't just glance and leave. They stay, they look around, they click, and that sends a really powerful signal, not just to the customer, but to Google itself. So what's the first big benefit of all this? Well, it all boils down to one word: trust. Let's be honest, we live in a world where every photo can be filtered and faked. A virtual tour is an act of total transparency. You're basically saying, hey, here we are, come on in, look around. What you see is exactly what you get. It just builds instant credibility. Let's break down how it really works on a psychological level. First, it gets rid of what you could call ambience anxiety. That worry that a place might be too stuffy or too loud or just not the right fit. Second, it creates instant familiarity. So when a customer does walk in for the first time, it actually feels like the second time. It also answers dozens of little questions visually. And, this one is huge, it sets totally realistic expectations. That means you get happier customers and, better reviews. And if you want a hard number, here it is. Mobile users who actually play around with a virtual tour show 234% higher confidence in their choice of business. Let me say that again, 234%. That's not just a little boost. That is a massive, game-changing advantage that's built entirely on trust. Okay, so that boost in trust and engagement, it creates this amazing ripple effect. Which brings us to the second huge benefit: winning at local SEO. That's search engine optimization. Having a virtual tour isn't just a cool feature for your customers, it's a seriously powerful tool that tells Google you're a business people should pay attention to. Here's the secret sauce. Google's #1 job is to give its users the best possible results. So when someone spends a few minutes exploring your space in 360 instead of just spending 10 seconds scrolling past photos, they are sending a direct signal to Google's algorithm, a signal that says, hey, this place is interesting. This is a high-quality result. And Google absolutely rewards that with better visibility. When you look at how Google ranks local businesses, it really comes down to 3 things: relevance, distance, and prominence. A virtual tour crushes all three. It shows exactly what you offer, so that's relevance. It helps your listing get preference in nearby searches, hitting distance. And that high engagement we just talked about, that sends your prominence score through the roof. It's a triple win.
So, we've talked trust, we've talked search rankings, but now for the question that every single business owner is thinking about. What about the bottom line? Is there a clear return on this investment? The answer is, without a doubt, yes.
Let's look at hotels and restaurants. For them, the impact is huge and it's fast. The data shows that businesses in hospitality can see up to a 156% increase in direct bookings right after adding a virtual tour. And why is that? It's simple. You remove all the guesswork, and you give people the confidence to click that Book Now button on the spot. And it goes way beyond just bookings. Businesses that have a virtual tour get 67% more clicks to their website from their Google listing. That's more traffic, which means more leads, which means more potential customers checking you out. It's all connected, and it all starts with that engaging first impression. So you see, the money isn't just coming from one place. It's a powerful mix. You get more direct bookings, for sure, but you also get more people physically walking in your door because they already know they'll like it. And the people who click through to your website, they're much more likely to convert. Let's just put it all in perspective with a direct comparison. Over a year, the average return on investment for spending money on traditional photos is around 50%. Hey, that's not bad. But for a one-time investment in a virtual tour, the average ROI is 200%. I mean, the numbers really do speak for themselves. It's one of the best long-term marketing moves a local business can make. So, all of this leaves us with one final thought. This shift toward immersive, transparent digital experiences, it's not a trend. It's already happening. So the real question for any business owner isn't if this is going to be the new standard. It's whether you're going to be one of the businesses leading the charge or one of the ones left behind, scrambling to catch up. All right,